Hi fellow countrymen, hi folks, hi friends, hi fellow artists and you users. My name is Martin Yo-Yo, or Nko Yo-Yo, the chairman, board of directors, Uganda Performing Rights Society, and I'm giving you the latest updates from Uprs. If you could ask that, what are some of the achievements of Uprs so far? There's been lots of achievements. One is that at least we have now streamlined the governance. That is to make sure that we have a system that is accountable and transparency. Accountable to its membership, accountable to the users, the stakeholders, and then transparency to the membership. Two, we found a company that didn't have automotives, and it was being very hard for our licensing team to go out in the field to do licensing. What we decided to do is that we could procure some 2 cars, and currently we have 2 cars and 3 motorbikes that we've procured to help the licensing team easy their work. Then number 3, what we have done is that we found, by the time we got into office, we found an organization or a company that was almost running insolvent with arrears amounting up to 700, close to 700 million Uganda shillings. Currently, as we speak, the arrears are below 30 million. I think that is a big milestone that we have achieved to get the company from almost near insolvency and then back onto its foot, that it's now able to honor its statutory obligations, the taxes, NSSF, and all the other pay workers and get things rolling. Achievement number 4, we have automated our licensing system that beginning this month, at least now, users can out there do personal assessment on a platform. They are issued an invoice. They can go ahead and make payments, and then the platform will issue them a license without having to wait for office people. So when our compliance officers come around, they can simply validate whether one is a compliant user or an infringer. Achievement number 5 is that we are growing the membership, and more and more members are getting interested in registering their works, and then of course even more members inquiring on how they can become fully subscribed members. It is also in our tenure that we introduced a 50,000 subscription fee for one to become a member. I also should count that as an achievement, because for one to find that something is viably important to them, at least if they are willing to pay that subscription fee, then they can attach the importance to it. Achievement number 5 is that we have sealed or consolidated our international collaborations. That is collaborations with foreign CMOs, foreign rights management organizations like Warner Brothers, Universal Music, and Sony Music. These are the 3 majors whom we have agreements with, and we are working together. We have very solid working relationships with IFPI. IFPI is the International Federation of the Phonographic Industry, or what you can loosely turn into the recording industry. It is actually the organization that issues ISRCs, or International Standard Recording Code. For every song to be able to put your metadata right, it must have an ISRC and an ISWC. Now for the recording side or the performing side, it is the ISRC from IFPI, and then the ISWC from CISAC. All those are our partners and members, and we are solidifying on that. Also, this last year, we managed to add on to the reciprocal agreements that we have. We signed with Kenya Camp. It's a CMO, a sound recording CMO in Kenya. So we are in reciprocity That means if Ugandan music plays in Kenya, they can collect on our behalf, and we collect on their behalf if Kenyan music plays in Uganda. So those are some of the achievements, but we've equally had challenges, several challenges. Of course, we still want to do more investment in automation, that is with the monitoring of the used works, that how do we ascertain that after we collect the monies that artist A, artist B, artist Z this is their rightful share that they deserve to get. That is still a challenge, of course, that we are working towards solving. Of course, there's also been some confusion and ignorance from the membership and the users about the copyright law. It still remains a very big challenge that you find everyone coming up with their own assumptions and the arguments on what should be done or what it is when indeed it is not the case. So, and of course, you know, addressing the challenge of ignorance, it takes a lot of sensitization, and sensitization calls for a lot of capitalization. There must be resources or monies injected into that. And of course, we just can't depend on the collections, because you remember the law said that we should keep 30% and 70% is kept aside for the members. But it's still not viable enough to make sure that we do sustainable sensitization across the board, from east, west, north, south. Then also there is a challenge of law compliance. The compliance has been very low, that many Ugandans don't attach that much importance to our intellectual property. It's not the same importance they attach, say, to tangible property like land or cars or what. We still have a very big gap to let people understand that intangible property is as worthwhile as intellectual property. With the mega collections, of course, we'll still have so many artists getting little royalties, but the bottom line is that when the compliance is low, of course, the distributions, the collections are low, the distributions, of course, subsequently low.